Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, da 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 da. I got the Midas touch everywhere. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another KingJvpes video. Now, I wanted to make a very laid-back video showing you guys a couple of new film stocks that I have picked up throughout the week. And lately, I've been on sort of a film rampage. I don't know why, but I've been buying film left and right. Maybe just because I want to experiment more. I enjoy colder weather, and now that it's getting colder, it's time to go out and shoot. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of new film stocks that I got. Maybe you guys would be interested in them as well. Yeah, and a lot of these films I have shot before, but there are a couple of different ones in there that I have yet to shoot. So I'm really looking forward to actually trying them out and then sharing the results on the channel. Alright, cool. So all of the film is inside of this paper bag. Alright, so the first roll we have here is Kodak Ektachrome E100. And E100 is a slide film. It's 100 ISO. And yeah, I've shot this film before and I really actually enjoyed the results. I shot it with the Yashica T3. Very cool and blue tones. The one thing though that I would say about Ektachrome is that, you know, if I do get to shoot it, it's not going to be all the time, simply for the fact of price. You know, this goes about $12 per roll, and then you have the cost of slide film developing, which isn't, you know, as common as color or black and white. So yeah, but I'm really looking forward to shoot this stuff. I think I'm going to bring it to me with when I go to the Philippines and really try to get some nice colorful scenery. But yeah, I guess Kodak Professional Ektachrome 100. I recommend, if you haven't shot it already, give it a shot. Back to the bag here. Let's see what we got next. So the next two films were actually sent by Street Candy. Now, Street Candy is a 400 ISO black and white color film. And I just love the artwork on the front, Street Candy. And it has kind of that crosswalk almost aesthetic. I've shot one roll of this before, actually two rolls. One of them I have yet to develop yet. And I love the results that I got from it so far. So I'm really looking forward to shooting more of these. I actually asked them if they could send over 2 more rolls just so I can make a full comprehensive review on the film. Yeah, but so far from what I've seen, I like the contrast of it. I also like the grain structure, but that's only off of one roll. I can't base my entire review off of just one roll. So Street Candy ATM 400. All right, next up in the bag, folks, we're gonna keep it slick with the black and white film. Now, this roll of film was actually not purchased. During my San Francisco workshop on the 14th of November, one of the attendees actually gifted me a roll of film that is kind of rare now. He gifted me a roll of Fuji Acros 100. Now, Acros, you guys know, legendary film. A lot of people talk about how amazing this film is. I have only shot a small handful of rolls of this Acros 100, so, you know, it's not my go-to black and white film. I can't say that I enjoy it as much as other people do, but I feel like if I were to ever just like get 20 rolls of this stuff and start shooting it consistently, I would definitely say maybe, yeah, I like the look of this. For me, out of 10, I would say it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. That's just my personal opinion, but nonetheless, Acros 100. Also, thank you, Bobo. Bobo Lee was the person who gifted this for me. So thank you, Bobo, and I'm really looking forward to actually shooting this now. Alright, so now we're getting into the heavy hitters, folks. The next film is a color film, and it's called Cinestyle 800T. Now, Cinestyle has been out of stock since since 2017, damn near. When film started to get more popular, I feel like everybody picked up on some Cinestyle, and I really like it. I've shot this multiple times, both in 120 and in 35mm. I really love how it renders colors, especially at night with tungsten lighting and all of that jazz. I have a portrait here of this little girl, and it's just beautiful. It's just a really beautiful photo, just the tonality of everything. And so yeah, that's what really sold me on this Cinestyle 800T. With it being 800 speed as well, makes it a very good option for night shooting. So if you shoot concerts and you want to do like low light photography through a point and shoot, as long as it can handle 800 ISO, I mean, this is a really good film. And the last in the bag, folks, here is 2 rolls of this film that I've never actually even shot before. and I'm curious to see how it is. Apparently it's from Japan. I got the goods. No, I'm just kidding. But it's this stuff called Fujifilm Venus 800. It's an 800 ISO film, and I was really curious when I saw this at Glass Key Photo in San Francisco, because 800 Superior was discontinued, as well as like Natura 1600. And with those two films, I always thought that Fuji 800 speed color film would just be completely discontinued, but that's not the case, man. Apparently you can get this Venus 800 stuff in Japan very easily at camera stores. So if any of you guys are from Japan and definitely want to be my supplier for this Fuji Venus 800, let me know, man. I'll send you prints, I'll send you money. I don't have too much of money, but I'll send you what I can. But man, I'm really excited for this. Apparently Fuji Superior Venus 800 is supposed to be a lot more saturated than any of the other 800 ISO Fuji stocks that they had before. And it just has a really interesting box to it. You know, it definitely looks different. It definitely looks almost old school in a retro way. And I love that. I love the fact that Fujifilm still is making color films of 800 ISO. So thank you, Fuji. And on the topic of Fuji, I have one more roll of film that I want to show you guys before we move on to the Q&A. Be right back. Now, this roll of film, actually I just mentioned it, was discontinued in 2017 or 2018. I want to say 2018. And since then, it's gotten really expensive. And really, really shameful that I haven't really gotten to shoot a lot of it when it was still kind of on the market, because it's an amazing film stock. Alright. Call me crazy, folks. Damn, what did they do to this box, man? They were just eating it up or something. Call me crazy, folks, but I spent about 50 bucks on one roll of film. This is Fuji Natura 1600. And if you guys know what this film is, this is a legendary film. 1600 ISO. A lot of people say it's very similar to Superior 1600, which unfortunately they don't make anymore. But yeah, this film was discontinued in 2018, and ever since then the price has gone up. This one in particular I got off of Amazon for 60 bucks. And you might be asking why, like, why would you even pay 60 bucks for Natura 1600? And that's a really good point. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to answer that. But yeah, so here it is, Fuji Color Natura 1600. It expires in 2019 in October, which is this month. So I'll have to shoot this soon. I know if I cold store it though, it'll be perfectly fine. I'm just excited. I'm juiced. I'm stoked on this film stuff. And that brings us into our next segment, which is the Q&A for this video. I'm gonna pick about 5 questions total, and yeah, I kind of just asked you guys here on Instagram, and then we're gonna go through each of them here. Do you develop scan at home? Why/why not? I do develop at home, but only my black and white film. So I choose to develop my black and white film at home because of my scanner. My scanner is the Epson V550. I mean, it's a good scanner for black and white, but for color, you know, it takes a little bit of work to get the results that you want. Every time I shoot color film, I always send it out. I outsource the job. I let the lab take care of it because they have a way better, there's a technician there that's going to be more accurate with color renditions for film. I personally suck at that. In your opinion, which is more powerful, black and white or color? Good question. Now, if you were talking about like in a photographer's perspective, shooting black and white and color are two completely different beasts. Black and white, there's no color at all. You're forced to focus on composition, on supplemental light, and you are going to really be mattering more on the content of the image and the way it looks aesthetically with leading lines and all that other jazz. Whereas if you're shooting color, you know, there's a little bit more complexity to it. Light and supplemental light is always going to be a factor. You always need to keep that in mind. But not only that, but also colors. So people who are walking around with just red ties, or people who are wearing blue hats, those are going to stand out a lot more than they will on black and white film, obviously because it's color. So the way I approach it is with color film, I always have to keep it in the back of my head. I'm still approaching it in a black and white format, but now I'm looking for dualities with colors, or triads in colors, or maybe even looking for what's the word for it? Colors that kind of fit together. Now, speaking from a viewer standpoint, I definitely see color being more favorable than black and white. At one point, black and white was considered the standard medium for fine art photography. Then later on in the art world, people started venturing out and shooting color, like for example Joel Meyerowitz, and then completely changed everything. And now color is basically the standard of all fine art photography in a way. You can still shoot black and white. It really just depends on the particular decade and moments in which you're shooting in, because we go through these phases where black and white is the thing or color is the thing. But right now, I definitely see color being more standard for all types of photography. Do you plan on doing a tour of classes? If so, New York City, please. New York City is one of those places I want to visit, probably next year. So if I do end up doing something out there, I will definitely let you guys know here on the YouTube channel. All right, and last question of the day, how do you get into street photography? Street photography can be done anywhere by anyone with anything. So, there's no restriction on how you can get started. You don't need expensive gear. You need a camera, you need a lens, and you need film if you're shooting film. So the best way to really get into it is just to start doing it. And I would say go down to your local downtown area, even if it's not big, and then just start taking photos of signs, of people, of cars, anything that catches your eye. And I would also say definitely invest into self-educating yourself, whether it be through photobooks or even taking classes online or workshops. There are a lot of resources that are free, and then there's a lot of resources that you can pay for that might provide a lot of value to your knowledge on street photography. So, do whatever you have to do. YouTube is a great resource. Yeah, self-educating yourself, and then just the act of actually doing it, because Bresson has this famous quote. I feel like I bring it up all the time, but it's your first 10,000 photographs are your worst. And the premise behind that is that once you start to photograph more and more and more and more, you gain that experience and you gain those kind of like situational aspects that you're going to start to know about. And so yeah, I would say start shooting, self-educate, and then just be thankful for being able to make street photos in 2019. All right, you guys, that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the laid-back format of this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these kind of like weekly wrap-ups and what I've been talking or thinking about. I have a very important and special announcement involving 2 other film photographers in the film community. We're going to do the special project, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys are into the history of photography and photographers, definitely stick around for next week's announcement. So thank you guys for watching another KingJvpes video, and as always, folks, Minolta gang.